Doctor, let's just start right off here with what is the basic information about generic options people need to know when filling their prescriptions at the pharmacy?
Well, when patients go to a pharmacy or get their prescriptions filled online, they have more options. Most of us know about generic medications. These are drugs that work in the same way as the brand ones. And they're usually available at a lower price. But there are different categories of generics, and it's important that they know their choices. So you go into the pharmacy, you think of prescription medications, and it's important to make informed decisions. Again, starting knowing your options. There are brand name medications, generics, and lesser known category of generic medications called authorized generics.
Mm-hmm. Can you tell us more about what an authorized generic is?
Sure. Authorized generics are a category of generic drugs made by the manufacturer of brand name drugs. Authorized generics, they differ from brand name drugs as they do not have brand name on their labels. They may have different marking on their medication, and in some circumstances may be even of a different color. Now, this is really important. I want to make this point. Keep in mind that all generic medications work in the same way and provide the same clinical benefit as their brand name version and are required to meet quality and manufacturing standards of U.S. Food and Drug Administration and the FDA. Now, authorized generics are also a lesser-known prescription medication option. They're really not new. For example, Greenstone, which is a Pfizer company, they have been supplying authorized generic versions of original brand names for like 25 years. And you can even go to a product finder on greenstonegenerics.com to see if they manufacture an authorized generic version.
Okay, so that's interesting, good information there. What is the key thing that we need to know as consumers about the differences among all the options of generic medications available?
Well, this is a great opportunity for us to compare them. And again, I want to mention something early, which is important. All generic medications must meet FDA quality and manufacturing standards, and the FDA considers all generic drugs to have the same safety and efficacy or effectiveness of brand name drugs. Now, just remember, generic drugs are generally developed and made by a company other than the original brand name manufacturer and may have certain minor differences compared to brand name products, or such as different inactive ingredients, and they may even be a different shape, size, or color. Now, I said inactive ingredients. Inactive ingredients are usually harmless substances that do not affect the body, and in some cases, changes in inactive ingredients may not be well tolerated in certain cases. Authorized generics are different from the brand name drugs. They do not have brand name on their labels. They may have different marking on medication, and in limited circumstances may be of a different color. Authorized generics are typically made by the same manufacturer as the brand name ones.
Well, I don't mean to sound redundant here because you certainly explained this very clearly, but what's the best way for us as consumers to better understand our options with regard to generic and authorized generic meds?
Well, in some cases, I have been in that situation as a pharmacist, and I think the best thing that your audience can do is speak to the pharmacist, as there may be multiple manufacturers of the generic medication you prescribe, that you're prescribed. So the version of the generic you receive may depend on the pharmacy you go to and which manufacturer the pharmacy stocks on their shelf that month. It all can be really confusing.
Okay,
so go ahead.
Go ahead, sir.
No, okay, I was just saying that authorized generics aren't new. Excuse me. But many people don't know about them or how to access them. When not every medication with the generic option has an authorized generic, many do. And a list of authorized generics, you can visit the FDA website. And it's also important to note that not all pharmacies stock authorized generics. You may need to ask your pharmacist to order them for you, or even find a pharmacy that stocks the authorized generic version of your medication.
All right. Well, doctor, in closing, I know you covered this, but let's just one more time. If our pharmacy doesn't carry the authorized generic version of our prescription, how can we get it?
Well, the generic or authorized generic in stock may vary from pharmacy to pharmacy. Pharmacists generally have the ability to order from different manufacturers. So if patients want a specific manufacturer's product, they can request the pharmacist to order it. They also should talk to their healthcare provider or pharmacist to learn more about authorized generics available to them. Now, Greenstone, which is a Pfizer company and one I'm speaking for today, and they are compensating me, has been providing authorized generic versions, as I said earlier, for over 25 years. And they do have a website, as I mentioned before, greenstonegenerics.com, so people can learn more about them and where to locate them.
Mm-hmm.
And they even provide authorized generics from other manufacturers in addition to other generic products.
Well, I know my ears are perked up. This is news to me, so we appreciate you sharing this with us this morning, Dr. Zive, and being with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I hope I was informative. Have a good day.
Absolutely. You too as well. Bye now.